I started off the week doing my first ever tarot commission. I am designing fairy manifestation calendars. So originally the calendars were just going to be fairy artworks. So I had to fully redesign the calendar, and that took me over 12 hours to do. I would always sort of be like, oh, my small business, and it sounds like you just got this like cute little hobby on the side, when it's actually like, no, it's my full-time job. So I'm in week 3 of being full-time into my work. So this week, firstly, you would have seen in the last video that I finally got my wall logo, and it looks so pretty. I really want to get some prints though and just kind of like fill up the empty spaces, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. I was so nervous originally because when I loaded the image that I wanted to use into Sticker App, it was quite blurry, so I was thinking, oh, this is a little bit of a risk, but it's actually so crisp and sharp, which you'll see in the vlog from last week. So this week has been a little bit more of a drawing kind of week. I started off the week doing my first ever tarot commission since posting it as a listing, as an Instagram post for people to see. And if you haven't heard about it, the tarot card commissions that I'm doing are very much inspired by an old art friend of mine called Fetfi. And I think it was like 2017-ish kind of time. They posted their tarot card commission, and I was just heavily inspired. And then recently I just haven't been able to get out of my head, so I thought I want to do my own version of it. And you know me, I'm very much into oracle decks, into tarot cards, and obviously if you've come across my shop you'll know that I just sell a bunch of oracle cards mainly, and then I've got like prints and stickers and stuff. But tarot and divination, that sort of stuff, has always been quite prominent in my life, so I really thought this was like perfect for me to kind of have my own spin on it. So during the time that I had off before I actually started like officially full-time working, I was spending a lot of my time like thinking about what kind of direction I wanted to go in. And last time when I was working on my art like more full-time, I wasn't really thinking of commissions. In fact, I think I had them closed for quite a while. And this time around, I'm just sort of thinking that I really love the idea of doing commissions again, but almost having like a different spin on it. Back then I used to do very much like heavy logo kind of commissions, so like profile picture kind of commissions or business logo kind of commissions. And I still love doing those, but I also wanted to do like full art piece commissions and the tarot card commissions. So with the tarot card commission, you essentially have different aspects of it that I planned out. So you can choose from 3 different borders, different kind of like card borders, and then you can choose from 3 different styles of characters. So it could be a witch, a mermaid, or a fairy, but you can also just have human. And then after that you can pick your angel numbers that you want on the card, your star sign symbol, and also your MTBI, and also your tarot card phrase. So you can pick like a tarot card name, so like the sun, the moon, to go on the phrase part of the card, or you can have something that is more personal to you, so like a special date or just your names, because I also have the option of you having multiple people in it, so you could have it for like you and your best friend, or you and your partner, and you can have like a special date or just your names there. So I was working on my first one since listing this, and it was just so much fun. I really enjoyed it so much, and I got to do a witch character with a witch border. Thank you so much to Sarah for commissioning me this. There's multiple ways that if you want one for yourself you can go about ordering. I have it on my website, I have it on my Etsy shop, and you can also just DM me on Instagram and pay through PayPal. Here is a breakdown of all of the costs, and the base cost is £70, and that gives you the entire tarot card commission as you see here. And then there's just some additions if you wanted like an extra pet, or if you wanted some extra changes or something like that. There's quite a lot included in the base price of the tarot card commission though, so you don't have to have all those add-ons if you don't want them. When I was doing this commission, it was so much fun because I got to use, or I wanted to use, some kind of like texture brushes. So I used my texture brush, that is this one, to create like a stardust sparkly effect behind the character. And then I also used Procreate's brush to add in like kind of texture around the sides. I also had so much fun on this because Sarah said that she wanted blue, purple and black, and so I kind of incorporated those. As you can see, I did the like half blue, half purple, which I really love the look of. So in my downtime when I wasn't working, I also made a commission listing for just a plain commission. So when I say just a plain commission, I mean that the artistic vision is essentially with the client and they get to kind of tell me exactly what they want, what they kind of envision, and then I can come up with some sketches and things. So it's not like quite as set as the tarot card commission. There's a range of options that you can choose from. So one of the reasons for this week being a little bit more of a sitting down and drawing week was not only just that I had the commissions to do, but I've also struggled with quite bad period pain. This has been ongoing for a little while now, and essentially I just get really bad cramps for a couple of days that travel into my legs, and I am seeing a doctor about it. So during those times I really like to just be as gentle with myself as possible. I try not to do as much like manual labor kind of tasks. I was also drawing some new designs for a new oracle deck I want to make. You'll know that I recently listed the fairies oracle deck, which I'm so happy about, and I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's ordered one so far. This deck is so special to me. I've been wanting one for ages, and the next deck that I am working on is also very close to my heart, and I've already spoken to my patrons a little bit and given them a little bit of a look into what the oracle deck's going to be. I've already started doing like thumbnail drawings and stuff, so if you want to go check that out, it is only £2.50 a month and you can cancel whenever you want. I would love to have you over there. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all my current patrons and everyone who's joined recently. It means the world to me. Honestly, it has been just mind-blowing how coming back to work has felt so natural and how much support I'm getting, and I just want to say it really means the world to me. I'm just blown away by everyone's kindness and support, so thank you. So also in the last video we spoke about my calendars for 2026. I am designing fairy manifestation calendars. So originally the calendars were just going to be fairy artworks. Then I was feeling super inspired by my fairy messages oracle deck that I recently released and really wanted to do that bit in a calendar kind of version so that every month you would have some manifestation kind of self-love uplifting quote, and I really tried to match it to the different seasons and the different months and what I thought kind of fit with it. So typically how I've grown up, January is the start of New Year. Yoshi! And when I went to Bali at the beginning of this year in March, they were celebrating Nyepi, and that was the Bali New Year. And to me it just kind of makes more sense because you're going into spring and everything, and it just kind of made me think that that's how I feel naturally, that when I'm going through the year, whenever I get to sort of like November, December, January time, it does feel more like a resting kind of phase. And you know, typically people will do like their New Year's resolutions and make the plans for the new year, and while I love the idea of, you know, you've got the whole year to start over again and you start from the start and it's like fresh new desires and things like that, I also don't really feel like my body sort of resonates with that. For me, I start to feel more like alive, awake when we get more into March and when spring comes and when the weather starts to warm up a little bit for where I live. So I try to match it a little bit to that as well, but it's also not the quotes are kind of like not as set as like this is my new year in March. As you can see here, it's more manifestation themed and gentle and uplifting. So what happened is I designed that calendar last week, as you would have seen, and it was just fairies, and then I got the urge to redesign it, and I asked my patrons and some of them said they wanted the manifestation one. So I then sort of sat with myself and sort of thought, because I was going to do two versions, and I thought, no, I don't feel like I want to Hi Yash! I don't feel like I want to do the two versions. I just want to do the manifestation one, and it just felt like that resonated more with me. So I had to fully redesign the calendar, and that took me over 12 hours to do. So I had to make space for the quotes, and so by doing that I had to move around the elements of the transparent box and the dates. Yash, where are you going? Yoshi! Alright, bye. He loves hiding behind my desk there. And so I had to move around the elements of the dates and things, and so it took a little bit of time to do that because I was rearranging the template. But then it finally was done, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. This is the front cover of it, which I'm just so in love with, and I can't wait to put that on my wall. I'm really having so much fun using my new logo on everything as well. Everything just feels a lot more professional with it as well, and I think that's kind of what I needed. I needed to really understand how serious my business is, and I would always sort of be like, oh, my small business, my little business, and it sounds like you just got this like cute little hobby on the side, when it's actually like, no, it's my full-time job. It's something that you put a lot of your effort and heart into. So I just really wanted to match that and kind of acknowledge what a big thing this whole thing is for me. So obviously with redesigning the calendars, I then was very much delayed in, I mean, not very much, it was slightly delayed by a week of when I wanted to have the calendars, and when I wanted to have this vlog and be like, the calendar's alive finally, but because of the redesigning, I now have to wait a little bit. They've been so quick though to do production and put them into print. So now I'm just waiting for an estimated delivery date, but the date that the site gave me was the 17th. This sort of delay, I think previous me would have been very much like stressed out about and been like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss my chance. And I'm not gonna lie, like the feeling does come up, but then I remind myself that everything is just working out in the perfect time for me. I'm going to trust in the timing of everything. There's obviously a reason it's happened this way. I mean, who knows? The manifestation calendar could be one of the best calendars I've ever done and sell amazingly, and people love it, and it could just, you know, like things just, you just don't know how things are going to work out. And I'd rather look at it from that positive lens. And one positive thing that's already come from it is I've decided that I'm going to do a pre-sale of the calendars, and this requires me to do some mock-up photography. So where I don't have the calendar yet, I would probably use one of my old calendars. I would probably use like the back cover or maybe one of the white pages of the calendar and sort of do a mock-up, and then in Photoshop I would add in the front cover of the calendar. Some of my listings on my website and on Etsy are already, I'm sure you can hear Yosh. I don't know what he's doing back there, but he just climbs into like all the little boxes and things I've got back there. He's bored and that's what he enjoys doing. I've completely forgotten what I was saying, but I think it was basically along the lines of, I'm doing the mock-up photography of the calendar, and then, oh no, okay, now I remember. I was talking about digital listings. So I do have some digital listings in my shop already, which is really handy for if, say, I'm doing a new sticker or something. Stickers sometimes can be hard to photograph, and the ones that I absolutely have to photograph are the ones that I get from Sticker App, which have like the kind of mirror effect on it. Then I have to photograph it so that the customer can actually see what the effect is that they're going to get. But with my standard stickers, I'm just doing like a matte laminate. So I will typically have like, I'll finish a drawing, make it into sticker, and then make the listing photos. And it's just a really handy way of getting things up a lot quicker. To me, honestly, it just looks a lot more, it just looks very professional in comparison to the photograph stickers. And it's less time consuming, which is always a bonus when this kind of art business is already quite a time consuming thing. If you've got to do all that photography for all those different kinds of stickers and things, sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. So for me with this delay, I am thinking that it's actually worked out perfectly because I get to do the mock-up photography, and this has kind of like opened my eyes to the fact that if, for instance, some kind of product is delayed in the future, even though I have already done a lot of mock-up photography, I wasn't really thinking that I could already release stuff that I haven't physically got with me just yet and that I am expecting to arrive. So I'm just really grateful for that because I can't wait. I love doing mock-up photography and I love kind of practicing and learning and seeing how I can edit photos in that way. So hopefully once this video is up, you will be able to order the 2026 calendars. As I said, they are pre-sale, but it's not like you're going to be waiting months or anything like that. You're just going to be waiting about a week. I'm also going to put some new listings in my shop that I've been working on. I started doing new phone wallpapers of some of my like newer designs, and I'm just so excited because I don't think I've done properly like new phone wallpapers for a little while now, and I really miss it, and I really want to get some more digital products in my shop as well. I feel like I have a list of like loads of different ideas of things that I could make and sell, and some things just stay on the list forever and some things become physical, become real. I also entered into Sticker App's little competition that they had. They sent out an email saying like to enter in your spooky kind of artwork. I entered this one. It's definitely not spooky, it's more like cute. But I really, really love this piece, and I know a lot of you love it as well. And I really just thought it would be fun to do. So fingers crossed for me that I'm gonna win that, because that would actually be so much fun. Another thing that's kind of like been going on behind the scenes, sorry, I just yawned, so that's probably why my eyes look a little bit watery, is my two daughters want to be involved in my art business. It feels so nice to say that. It's so cute. I thought about it before and it's almost like passing it down. Obviously, it's my artwork, so I can't properly pass it down, but I just thought it was such a cute thing that they wanted to be involved and they wanted to pack some orders and stuff. So you never know, I might end up teaching them very soon how to do certain aspects of my job, and then you might see them in the vlog doing like little things, packaging up your orders and things. And I also feel like they both have like a very entrepreneurship kind of mindset, and I really do see them both having their own kind of business. It just makes me such a proud mom. So what I want to do is kind of get into the routine a little bit of what I'm doing and figure out some tasks and stuff that they could do. So to wrap up this week, what I am going to be doing after everything that I've mentioned so far is that I'm going to be obviously doing orders in the studio today, and I am going to be starting a huge commission from my wonderful client Caitlin. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for this. I'm so excited to do your commission. I literally can't wait. It's gonna be really good, and I don't want to obviously say too much about it, but that is kind of what I'm next going to be working on. And so for commissions, I'll start with like 2 kind of sketches, send that to the client, and then we'll go from there. Anyways, that's exciting. That's something to look forward to. I can't wait to see what week 4 is going to bring. And I just want to say thank you so much again for your support and for being here. It means the world, and we're almost monetized again. So thank you so much for watching my videos, and thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you so much. Have the bestest Sunday ever, and I will see you next week at the same time.